Welcome back. So let's understand applying prompt engineering techniques in software testing tasks. So we have already understood why the prompt engineering matters in software testing briefly in the previous tutorial. As the prompt engineering or the better prompt we are going to design, the better outcome we are going to get. And it matters in software testing because you want the relevant output from large language model. You do not want any vague outcome, vague output, vague code, irrelevant code for your test automation. So you want very specific relevant outcomes which is usable and which is of use in your projects. So that's why prompt engineering is very important and understanding the core prompting techniques is important. So if we talk about prompt engineering, it enables generative AI to support core test tasks. For example, it can help you in the test analysis, it can help you in test design, automation, test case prioritization, defect detection, coverage analysis, monitoring and control, defect reporting, overall reporting. There is every area in the software testing lifecycle wherein you can leverage the GenAI. You can leverage generative AI and large language models. For example, if we prompt GenAI, design test cases for login form, you will get very generalized answer. That's the reason why we need to write better prompts, because we are not using generative AI in any one area or very specific area. You can use it in any part of the software testing lifecycle and software development lifecycle in the test automation. So if you won't design better prompt, if you ignore the prompt engineering, you will get very bad responses and outcome from generative AI which you won't be able to use, and you will end up cleaning up a lot of output and outcome from LLM before you can go ahead and use it, which will basically reduce your speed, not increase, not improve the productivity, but decrease your productivity. And that's the reason prompt engineering is the first and foremost skill as part of the generative AI that you need to learn. Okay, now if we talk about the areas wherein generative AI can help, so test analysis with generative AI. With GenAI, you can do test analysis. For example, you have the requirements, you can generate and prioritize test conditions against those requirements. It can identify defects in the test basis, in the requirement, in the user stories. You can input those user stories, write a good prompt, and then ask about the analysis and are there any gaps in the requirements. GenAI will be able to help any or identify any defects in those requirements. It can provide the coverage analysis. Now in terms of inputs to the generative AI, for the test analysis, you can provide the requirements, you can provide user stories, you can provide technical specification, you can provide the wireframes, you can provide the design documents, any relevant document you can go ahead and upload. Now directly using these public AI assistants, for example ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot or Google Gemini, is not recommended in the organization and not even for your personal work, because you have to be very careful what you are attaching and what you are typing in, what you are asking to these models, because every text, every prompt that you are typing in is actually public. So you have to make sure before attaching any of the sensitive data, any of the project data, you are only using the GenAI tools that are authorized within your project and organization. Okay, but in terms of input, you can input any of these, any of the project artifacts to get the relevant outcome for the test analysis. So for test analysis, whatever required or whatever relevant documents you need, you can go ahead and input to the GenAI. Then from the GenAI, based on the good prompt that you are going to write and what you want to achieve, what you have input to the GenAI, it will provide you the outcome and output. For example, typically it will, if we talk about test analysis, it will provide you the test analysis work products. For example, prioritize test conditions. That means the acceptance criteria. Okay, so it's kind of a smart assistant that helps the testers to expedite the test analysis activities. Any test analysis that you have been doing till now manually, for example, we go ahead, go through each of the user stories, the design document, the wireframes, and then we analyze and come up with the high level scenarios or the acceptance criteria or prioritize test conditions, etc. You can get help of GenAI, write good prompt and get the outcome in seconds. Okay, now another area wherein GenAI can be helpful, generating the test conditions. These are some areas. Now this is not the complete list. This is just to show you that GenAI is helpful in these areas of the testing. So generating the test condition and test cases, it can analyze your requirement or user stories and generate the test condition. As we have already seen in the initial video, we attached a screenshot of the login page and asked to create the test cases of the login page, and it automatically actually provided us the test condition and test cases. It uses natural language processing to interpret requirements. It breaks the requirements into measurable and testable statements. For example, as a user, I want to reset my password. If I provide this user story, okay, and then ask GenAI to generate the test condition based on the above user story. So it might generate something like this: reset link is sent to the registered email, reset password link should expire after set time, error message is shown if invalid email is used. So the better user story you will have with all the acceptance criteria. If you ask GenAI to create the test conditions for that user story, it will provide you a clear outcome of that user story in terms of test condition. Now make sure when you prompt with the 6 key components that I have taught in the previous tutorial. Then another use case is to prioritize the test conditions. So say for example, you have test conditions with the information on the risk, likelihood and risk impact of failure of each test condition. The LLM can help to prioritize the test effort, which before LLM we were mostly doing manually. So if you have risk, likelihood and risk impact associated with each of the test condition, you simply provide that data input and LLM can recommend the priority level by considering various factors. For example, regulatory compliance, user-facing features, login payments, historical defect data. So the more data it will have based on the risk, likelihood and risk impact and other important data, for example, regulatory compliance and historical defect data, it can easily help to provide you the high-level priority levels, which you can then go ahead and see if the priority level is acceptable, or you can update the priority level if it is not 100% correct, review it and then use it. But the overall time will be reduced a lot. If say for example you were taking hours to do the prioritization, now you can take, or you can just do the whole thing in just maybe 30 seconds. Okay, for example, payment processing test conditions, high priority, cosmetic UI alignment, low priority. You can get some sort of prioritization by LLM with or something like this. Okay, so you provide the test condition, you provide likelihood and risk and other historical defect data, and it will prioritize and provide you the clear list or clear tabular format, whichever output format you choose. Then suggesting the test techniques. So like we have a feature, generative AI can suggest relevant test conditions based on the type of the requirement or user story being tested. For example, should you use boundary value analysis or equivalence partitioning in this user story? If yes, can you suggest which test technique will be the best test technique to use for this user story? Okay, so suggesting or getting suggestions on the test technique to use for a particular user story. This will help testers to apply most effective test technique for a specific test condition, which we were doing manually previously. Now all of these techniques and test techniques that you can go ahead and ask generative AI, you need to have basic knowledge of these first, right? Because if I don't know what boundary value analysis, what equivalence partitioning is, and if I am asking for suggesting the test technique or best test technique for the user story, it's of no use because I don't know anything about the test technique. So all the core and basic knowledge of testing, test automation is still required even in the AI age. AI is there to augment and help you expedite the testing and get you more coverage. Say for example, previously with manual thought process and manual approach, we were not able to apply all of the test techniques that are relevant for the user story or that would be beneficial for the user story. But then with AI, now we can ask that question and get the relevant test technique to be used, and also then ask to create test cases by using that test technique. So all of the manual effort is now automatically reduced and I'm getting test cases automatically. So I'm in turn getting more coverage. Okay, so that's another area where GenAI is really helpful. So these are some of the areas where GenAI is helpful in software testing lifecycle. These are some of the techniques and areas, but then at every space in software testing and test automation, you can use generative AI. Okay, so that's all for this tutorial. Thank you. See you in the next one.